Hello everybody, my name is Davis and welcome back to another video, and today we're here for another evening time weather video where I give you the most important weather events that are going to be happening this week. Now tonight we're going to be talking about a big snowstorm and more flooding, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Starting off with that snowstorm, so obviously we just had a decent snowstorm that dumped over a foot of snow in some areas of north central Montana, but we're about to have another one. Now this one's not going to be quite as big, but it is going to be pretty significant for portions of North Dakota here. So as you can see, we've already seen a good inch of snowfall in some regions here. You can see we got a 1.2 inch reading there in Stanley. So this whole area has seen about an inch of snow on the high end. But if we go ahead and play this radar towards 8 p.m. tomorrow, we can see that snow just pile up here, okay? So especially like west of Minot here, I mean, you guys could definitely see several inches of snow in this region. Probably 2 to 3 is a good guess for this whole area. There's a 2.2 reading. It's kind of hard to get snowfall total readings out of this. Like some areas will say 6 inches and they'll be in completely nothing, or some of them will be in the darkest blues, which should indicate the heaviest snowfall, but they don't. But yeah, about probably 4 inches on a high end for some of these areas. Now, once you get into like northeastern North Dakota, northwestern Minnesota, that's whenever you could get into like 5 inches of snow, 6 inches of snow. Okay, so this whole area over here can expect to see a decent amount of snow. We already have winter storm warnings in effect for a good portion of North Dakota here, so look out for that for sure. Other areas that could get impacted by this, Montana, you're probably going to see a decent amount of snow, but definitely not a snowstorm by any means, probably around 2 inches in Jordan. Outside of that, just a few tenths of an inch. Here in Wyoming, western Wyoming could actually see a decent amount here, potentially upwards of an inch or 2 in most of the areas, maybe up to like 3 or 4 in the darker blues, but unfortunately it is hard to get readings whenever the mountains are here. So look out for that. Mountains, by the way, you're probably going to see a decent bit more than 3 or 4 inches of snow, okay? So it just depends. This snow will spill into portions of northwest Colorado and northeast Utah, so look out for that. Nebraska, you could get a decent amount of snow, definitely a couple tenths of an inch in this region here, maybe upwards of an inch in some areas. So look out for that. This does also spill into Washington and Oregon and Idaho a decent bit here. Again, just a few tenths of an inch in some regions, though. Washington, barely anything. Oregon, barely anything. So yeah, this is just what it's going to look like at 8 p.m. tomorrow, but this will continue to dump even more snow, so these aren't even the final totals, and we're already getting readings almost to half a foot here in portions of North Dakota, so we're going to continue to look at this as it happens. Probably have another update video on it tomorrow, so let's go and move on to the flooding, the other thing I want to talk about tonight. Now, surprisingly, they did not give us even a marginal risk of flash flooding today, even though we saw a decent bit of flooding here in Texas. We did have a slight risk at one point, but they took it away, which is odd because we're still getting heavy rainfall dumped in this region. Texas saw 7 inches of rain in some very isolated areas, okay? That was pretty extreme. DFW, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, you all got dumped on. So at one point today, you were probably under the 15% risk of flash flooding. But let's go ahead and move on to tomorrow, where we're going to have another 15% risk of flash flooding here in DFW, Denton, Plano, those areas there in the DFW Metroplex. But this is also going to extend into southwest Arkansas and southeastern Oklahoma, so look out for that. The marginal risk almost goes out to Tulsa. It does go up to the Arkansas-Missouri border there. So look out for tomorrow, as even more rainfall will get dumped in this region. And then it doesn't stop there. Saturday, we're getting even more rain. We're going to have another slight risk of flash flooding here. This one's going to go from extreme northeast Texas all the way into southwest Illinois for the 15% risk in the yellow there, as we can see several inches of several inches of rain once again fall in those regions, specifically around the Ozarks. So Sunday here, we're going to have another slight risk of flash flooding in this region. You can see how it piles on day after day, and it just doesn't stop. This one doesn't include too many major cities, except for probably southeastern Fort Smith there, so look out for that in Arkansas. But once again, extending all the way from northeast Texas back into like the Ozarks of Missouri, so look out. Monday here, we do not have a flash flooding risk as of right now, but I'm imagining we'll at least get a marginal risk. So if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Again, I think this snowstorm is going to be a little bit bigger than these models are indicating, especially after we can forecast further out than Friday to 8 p.m. So look out for that, especially in like northeastern North Dakota, northwestern Minnesota. But yeah, other than that, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.